Thank you for joining the Take Your Originating to the Cloud with Zenly Part 3. Let's get started with the housekeeping, the legal disclaimer. I'm going to leave this up a minute and let you read that. Next, if you have any questions relating to this webinar, you can use the chat feature in the GoToWebinar, and one of the consultants we have on the call will answer you. Any other questions can be answered with our direct support at 1-800-342-2599. I'll be your presenter today. My name is Allie Whitaker, and I'm the Professional Services Training Team Lead here at Calyx Software. Today we're going to be covering the features that Zenly has to offer with the ZIP program, that is your online application. We're going to cover your company main page option or loan origination landing page and what those look like. We're going to walk through the ZIP interview portal administration. That is all of your setup. And then we're going to go to the borrower dashboard and show you what that looks like for a borrower. So let me go ahead and open up Zenly and we'll get started. I've opened up my Zenly site here, and today with this webinar we're going to be focused on ZIP inside of Zenly. So ZIP is our online application platform. You can send a link to a borrower and have them fill out the application, and then it's going to pull back into Zenly. So today we're going to go over the options you have for setting this up, how they look, and then finish off with the borrower's dashboard. So let's go ahead and click the ZIP menu option at the top. Now there are two options that you can use when you are sending a borrower a link for them to fill out the application. You can have them, one, come to a company main site, which would then allow them to select their loan originator that they're working with, or you can forego the company main page and just use the loan originator landing page, and that will direct it directly to the loan originator that they're working with. So first we're going to look at the company main page. So I'm going to go on the far left, the interview portal, and select the company main. First option you have at the top is to use the company main or not. If you decide you do want to use the company main, you will need to select on here and click save down at the bottom. The second option is the language selection. If you do want to have the option of them selecting English or Spanish on that page, then you would want to select on. Below that, we have our company web address. This is automatically going to put your company name inside of this box and add .zipforhome.com as your company's website. You can update what's in that box if you don't want to have your company name there. And out to the right, you have a gray Go button. This is going to allow us to preview what the main page would look like. So I'm going to go ahead and click that so we can look at it. This brought up our company main page, so you can see that it is one page that all borrowers would be directed to. You can see in the top right you have a tan box that says loan officers. This is where your borrower would come to select their loan officer that they want to work with. And then all of your loan officers would be listed inside of here, so they could then pick who they wanted to work with. Back on the previous page, you can see to the left of that button, we have a button with English listed. If we click that drop down, you can also see Spanish is now available. If we didn't want that to show, we would have just kept the radio button showing off. Go back to our main Zenly section, and I'm going to scroll down a little further. With the main page, you have the ability to select the layout of it. You have three choices here. You've got A, B, and C. It shows you the location of a big picture and the text, so you can choose which one you prefer. We also have below that images. We have over 25 in here for you to pick from, or if you prefer, you can always upload your own. You just click the blank upload image and then locate your file. Below is going to give you a view of what the company main page will be and allow you to put edits in. Along the top, that blue edit to the right will allow you to insert a logo into the website. In the middle of the image, that tan box also has a blue edit, allowing you to edit or change that verbiage to whatever you prefer. Below that, you can see it will be your company information, address, phone number, email, and NMLS with your edit button off to the right. And below that, a summary for that landing page. We just have a default of purchase or refinance here, but of course you could always click edit and change it to whatever you prefer to have on your website. These are all the settings that you can use while setting up the company main page. Let me scroll back up to the top. If you don't choose to use the company main page and you want the LOs to send out their links directly, then you would keep the company main page off and use the loan originators area. So let me go to that. It's under the borrower portal on the left. And I'm going to scroll down. When you set up users and give them zip access inside of Zenly, they will automatically populate here for an account. If you've given the loan originator the ability to come in and edit their image or their summary on the landing page, then it would look very similar to this. They would then click their name, and inside here is where they could edit their information. They could upload their picture, and then below they can edit their company information if needed, and landing page summary, where they could type a welcome message to the borrowers who have come to their site. Also under our borrower portal, we have the default information here. I'm going to click there. The default information is going to be the layout for the setup of any new user. You can preset an image. You could use maybe your company logo in here, and then the LO could change it to their headshot later if they so chose. Below that, you can make sure your company information is correct or update it if you've moved or changed phone numbers. Below that, you can put a welcome message for the borrowers that are coming to your site to apply. You will notice that there is a Spanish section down below. You can enter that in, but the zip program will not translate English into Spanish. So if you do want a message down there, you're going to need to enter it or have it translated. Next, under Borrower Portal, we have the banner and colors. This is more defaults that you can set for your loan originator's landing page. The first option is the layout of the page, how you want that to look when your borrower goes to apply. Let me scroll down. We currently have it selected on the new. This is going to be a circle option, the loan originator's information under that, and then the button below that. Let me scroll back up and I can show you the classic. This is the older version. And you can see it is a different layout. It's got a square and then the information beside it. So you can choose between whichever layout you like. And then you've also got the information below, edit banner and color. The edit banner is if you want to put a link to another website, perhaps your own website. You could put your logo up there and have it linking directly back to your site. Then you also have, besides that, the main colors, background colors, and fonts. So you can choose to match your logo, and so it blends in and looks good. Next, we've got the borrower interview section. So I'm going to click on configurations over here. Under configuration, this is where you can select what part of the application will be asked of your borrower when they go to your application. If I scroll down a little bit, you'll see over on the right the detailed settings. You have all these different checkboxes here that are available. So you can go through and decide which checkboxes you want to have inside of the application and which you don't want to have inside the application. Over on the left, the configuration where it currently says full loan application, you have a plus sign under that. This allows you to add another configuration. So if you have somebody, for example, that is only doing pre-qualification letters, you could go through and set up what you would like them to only collect data on. Maybe not HELOC or second mortgages. Maybe you don't want them to get the Social Security or the declarations or demographics. So you could have two different settings for applications set up in this area. Then you could assign the configuration to your LO, and then that would be the application that borrowers would fill out when they went to their site. Back over on the left under our configuration, we have our disclaimer and result. These are the messages that the borrower will see before they apply and after. So you can see we've got the disclaimer in English and Spanish on both of them. So you can update that. Again, if you do change the English and you want it in Spanish, you will need to translate that yourself. We also have previews down at the bottom, so you can see what the disclaimer or the results will look like after the borrower has submitted the application. The terms of use and the privacy policy, that works just the same way. We have boilerplate information in here for both the terms of use and the privacy policy, but do feel free to update that. And again, it's got the preview buttons down at the bottom for you to look at what it would look like. Next, under the interview portal is our retention policy. The retention policy has two different sections. The top one, the loan information, this is how long Zip will keep the loan information inside of Zip here. This is not counting it being inside of Zenly. This is however long you want to keep the loan inside of your Zip system. You have between 1 and 365 days. You can update that here. The bottom section is for the e-disclosures or e-signatures. So again, this is anything that the borrower has signed from Zip. Back over on the left, we have the email header. First, we're going to click on email setting. You can see there are two tabs up at the top here for email settings. We have the email address. So this first email, the primary email address, this is your email, you as the admin, and this is where borrower interviews will be sent for you. Below that you have additional email addresses, so if you want to get notifications of your loan applications at a different email, you can enter that in down here. If we click on the other email preference tab, there are some other options for you in here. The first one is to receive the LO notification emails. So if you want to be copied on all of the emails that LOs get for applications, you can select on here and then put your email address in that. Next, you've got receive notification email with borrower contact information. This is at the very beginning of the application. The borrower will enter their contact information and agree to share that with your company before starting the application. If you select on here, as soon as they click that they agree to share, you will get an email with their information. And finally, in here, we have a time zone configuration for the e-sign timestamp. You can select what time zone you're in, and then this will stamp it when you're using the electronic signature inside of Zip. Under the email settings, we have the edit emails. So let's click over there. The edit emails allow you to customize the emails that are being sent out to your borrower at different times during the loan process. The first one that you've got here is the thank you email. After they've submitted an application, this email will be sent out to your borrowers. You can see inside the top you have brackets. That is actually pulling from their loan application. So if you do go ahead and change the verbiage below, you want to make sure that you keep that unaltered so it will pull from the application still. You also have buttons below to set it back to default or to send yourself a sample thank you letter to see what it would look like. We scroll down a little further. These are the rest of the email notification options that you have. We have the drop down here. So I'm going to click this. You can see all of the different options that you have to send out emails to your borrower. So you can go through this list and just like the thank you note above, edit that if you do want, and then make sure you don't take out any of the curly brackets that are pulling information from the application. Inside of Zip, we also have a reporting section. We're going to go to that next, the borrower interview report. This section will show you all of the applications that have come through Zip. You're able to sort the options up at the top by originator, email, or dates, or if you just click search, it will show you all the results down below. Back over to the left, we're going to go through our billing statement report. You can see your billing statement and then select the month from this drop-down. Clicking search, and then it will show you the information below, the number of charges and number of inkets sent out. We also have next month's projected statement, so you could click on that and it will give you an estimate of the fees that you will incur for that month. Back over to the left under our reports, we have borrower statistics as the last report. This screen will show you how many of your borrowers have registered. That is going to be after they fill out the application. And then below that, in the submission report, you can see how many and what applications were submitted either by loan originator or between dates. Continuing on, we've got settings. The first one under that is our borrower dashboard. Click on that and scroll up a little. On the borrower dashboard here, you're able to select if you want to send email or text reminders to the borrower for any documents that they haven't delivered or e-signature documents that you still are requesting from them. To do that, you would just select on, and then you would select if you want to have email or text, and then the number of days before it's due for that to go out to them. The next one is the document template. These are the documents that you'd want to collect from all of your borrowers. They could be very generic. It's something that most of your borrowers would need to submit to you for the loan application. We've got here the government issued ID. This list will pop up after they've clicked the submit button in their Zip, and they can go ahead and start collecting their documents for you. If you want to have more items listed, such as their bank statements, you could click that plus symbol and add in what you'd like to have and any notes if you want. I could put all pages in here, and this would show up as another document you're requesting from them. And finally, we've got the security settings under settings. The first one is the two-factor login here. If you have it selected as on, all borrowers that have created an account are going to have to enter a 6-digit security code that's either going to get email or texted to them based on their preference. They have to do this to be able to log into their account. And below this, we now have the password parameters. So you're able to set however many characters you want to require for a password for your borrowers to log in. And finally, at the very bottom is the payment management. In this area, you can change the payment for your zip or e-signatures. It will not tell you what you currently have on file for security reasons, but it will allow you to enter either a new credit card or new ACH into the system. So we've walked through the interview portal admin sections of Zip here. Now let's go and open up the borrower's dashboard and see what that looks like for them. I've logged in as a borrower into the borrower dashboard. You can see here I've got an alert that the loan officer has asked me for documents, and I can check out that list. So I'm going to close that. This is the borrower's dashboard. Up in the top left, if they have started an application but not finished it, they will be able to finish the application just by clicking that link. It will open the application back up to where they finished before and allow them to continue. Once they have submitted the application, the box underneath will show the date that it was submitted. Below that will be their loan officer's information, their phone number, email, and they do have a new link to apply for a new loan. Over on the right, this is where the documents are being requested. So I have a list here of all the documents that the loan originator wants from me. So I can click the upload button and select a document and send it back to the loan officer. That would then go back into the Zenly file for them. So we've gone through our company main page, our LO landing page, our Zip admin setup, and now we've looked at our borrower dashboard. Let's go see if there's any questions. All right, we've got a question. Wanted to know where the link is that they can send to their borrower for the company main page or the LO landing page. So let me go back into Zenly and I'll show you those. So under Zip, so back in Zenly under the Zip tab, I'm currently under the loan originators. That's where it opens up. I'm going to scroll down a little and you can see the loan originators here. The web address section, this is the link for their application. It will have HTTPS before it, so it is a secure link. Now if you've used the company main, let's go over to that company main site. The web address is going to be in the middle here. This is going to be where the borrowers can go and apply. Another question on how do you send out the document request to the borrowers for them to show up on the borrower's dashboard. That is actually inside of a file itself. So if you went into an actual loan, you're going to go over to the Documents tab at the top, and then the Request over on the left. In here, you've got the Add button, so when you click that, it's going to give you a drop-down list so you can select the document that you want to ask the borrower for. You can select that, select the borrower, you can organize it by category. You can also put a due date on it if you want. Save and close that. And once you've done that for all the documents that you want to request from the borrower, you can click that Send button down below. This is going to send that over to the borrower's dashboard for them. Thank you for attending today's webinar. We hope you've received some helpful information. If we didn't get to your question during the webinar, we will reach out shortly with that reply for you. At the end of the session, you will receive a 5-question survey, and we would appreciate you completing that so we can improve our training program and follow up with you if you so choose. To further assist you, a recording of the webinar will be available through the Calix customer portal very soon. Have a great rest of your day.